Breaking news tonight out of Virginia, literally as we go on the air tonight. They have found her. 12-year-old Brittany Smith has been located by investigators with the man accused of kidnapping her. 32-year-old Jeffrey Easley, a man her mother meets on the internet just months before moving him into the home. The same home where she's found dead and Brittany's taken from. We are standing by for a live news conference. 12-year-old Brittany Smith and Jeffrey Easley are found all the way across the country in San Francisco. And it's all on the heels of investigators releasing this brand new chilling surveillance video from a Virginia Walmart. Now, the surveillance video shows 32-year-old Jeffrey Easley buying a tent, a sleeping bag, and other camping gear, all while using Brittany's mom's credit card. And not only that, Easley taking a call on his cell phone at the register. Who's he talking to? But the big news tonight is 12-year-old Brittany Smith is found alive. And good evening. I'm Sam Champion at ABC's Good Morning America, in for Nancy Grace. We want to go to this story, but we also want to tell you that the presser's going on right now. Let's listen.
Good evening. It is with a tremendous sense of relief that I say tonight that we have located Brittany. She is well, and she is in good hands at this time. We've also located Mr. Easley. Mr. Easley is in custody with the San Francisco police. It has been a long evening. We understand that Brittany has been in touch with her family, and I'm sure they're anxiously awaiting her return to Virginia. We have a lot of events unfolding here. A lot of things are happening quickly, and we're doing everything possible to gain as much information as possible, but please understand that the information we have at this time is very limited. Brittany and Mr. Easley apparently were in a retail store where they were recognized by someone who had seen the wanted posters or the alerts, something of that sort. They notified the San Francisco police, who responded to the area and located Mr. Easley and arrested him and made sure that Brittany was safe.
Were they arrested in the store?
I'm sorry?
Did you say the police responded? Were they arrested in the store?
No, sir.
Okay.
The call came into us around 6 p.m. We're continuing to work throughout the night with the San Francisco police to gain additional details. We will have detectives from Roanoke County responding to San Francisco as soon as we can get a flight out of Roanoke or any other close by city. We're anxious to get there. I just can't say enough about the help that you folks in the media have provided us, and I think without your support and getting the word out, we might not be where we are tonight. But we're so very pleased, and I want you to know how much we appreciate your help and assistance in finding Brittany. I also want to thank the FBI, the Marshal Service, Roanoke City Police, Salem Police, Secret Service, and I'm sure I missed one or two persons, but please forgive me if I've missed anyone. But we've just had fantastic assistance. It's a great evening for us, and we're so very pleased to report this to you tonight.
Chief, what's the connection to San Francisco, California? I mean, that's not a state that you guys threw out there, you know, the entire week. I mean, any idea what the connection is?
I don't at this time.
Where were they arrested, and did he put up a fight or just surrender?
I understand that there was no resistance.
Do you know if
they've been there all week, if they've been traveling during the week?
I really don't know. We're just getting bits and pieces of the facts right now, and as I said, we're going to be working with them throughout the night to gain as much information as we can, and hopefully we can report that to you maybe at a later time.
Do we know when Brittany may be coming back to Virginia?
I would say as soon as we can make travel arrangements for her. We may have to deal with social services out there, but as I said, she's been in touch with her family. They're very relieved, and I'm assuming that maybe a family member will go out there and escort her back.
Does Brittany know that her mom is dead?
Yes.
How did she find out?
I don't know.
Any idea, I guess, on Brittany's estate, how she was when Easley was arrested?
No,
Her parents, or she was hurt or anything?
I understand that she is well and she's not harmed. There are no visible signs of injury.
Is she in the care of social services now?
I don't know.
Did you locate the vehicle at all that Dodge Neon?
It's my understanding they're still looking for the vehicle.
Have police had a chance to speak with Easley and question him?
I think they're questioning him at this time. They haven't relayed any information to us about him.
So where were they arrested? You said they were seen in a retail store, and the police didn't arrest in the store.
No, they were located somewhere near a tent, which was apparently located within walking distance from the retail store. And you know, I'm trying to give you as much information as I can and be as candid with you as I can. But I do know that there was a tent involved, and I know it was near a retail store of some sort.
Do you know what the store is?
No, I don't have the name of the store.
Chief, can you just describe sort of your feelings when you hear that this alert store clerk all the way out in San Francisco, here we are in Roanoke, Virginia, hundreds of miles away, saw this and knew something was wrong and had the initiative to make that phone call?
It's a fantastic sense of relief, and I know in my heart that it's due to information that you folks put out and the national news media and as it was relayed to them, and it's just a tremendous sense of relief.
Now that Jeff Easley is in custody, will he be extradited back to Virginia? How does that happen?
We would have to take him before some type of judicial official in San Francisco, and he would have to waive extradition. If he refuses to waive extradition, we'll have to have some hearings, which could take as long as 30 days or maybe up to several months. Hopefully he'll waive extradition and be back with us in Virginia here within the next week.
What kind of charges is he facing? I know we've had the previous ones, but are we seeing additional ones now he's in custody?
We have not made any additional charges at this time.
Okay, now that we know that he's in custody, are you willing to reveal how Tina Smith died?
No, sir.
Chief, if you could just talk about, because a lot of times with cases like this, they don't end well, like this one has today. So can you just talk again about how happy you are that she will be returned safe and sound to her family?
I can't express it. I'm happy. Believe me, I'm happy. And it's difficult to put into words. And we have together worked through this for the entire week, and I think we've talked about it between each and all of us, and all of us wanted so much for her to be safe and well and get back to Roanoke okay.
Chief, can you describe how you found out? Was it a phone call from whom? And sort of share that with us?
Yes, sir. The San Francisco police called Sergeant Mason upstairs, who was kind of in charge of the investigation, and relayed the information to him, had a few questions for him, and sure enough, it was the folks we were...
What time were they arrested? San Francisco time, obviously, during the West Coast.
We got information around 6 o'clock, so I would say that's around 3 o'clock.
What was the atmosphere like upstairs when that call came through and the word got out?
It's a party atmosphere, believe me.
Chief, do we have any idea how long the events? I know we've asked this, but do we have any reason to believe believe that they had stopped several times along the way to San Francisco, or could they have been there the whole week?
I just don't know. I don't have a timeline. Hopefully we'll be able to relay that to you sometime in the future.
Do you have any idea if Brittany would have easily on her own, or if you forced her to go with him?
We don't know at this time. I understand that she is talking with the police officials in San Francisco, so we should know something pretty quickly.
Who made the phone call to her family that she had been found?
I'm not sure. It may have been Mr. Mason. I'm not sure who called the family, but they did call the family as soon as we knew that she was safe.
Do you expect to charge Mr. Easley with murder?
I don't know. I don't know. That's something that is going to happen in the future. We're starting to really ramp up the investigation of murder, and so we'll see some things happen, hopefully within the next week.
Chief, I know you've been you're the head of the department and everything, but I know you mentioned that Lieutenant Mason, he got the call from San Francisco. Is there any way that he could talk to us a little bit about that call and what that was like receiving that call personally?
Sure.
He took it, if you don't mind, he put you on the spot. But.
Kevin Faust with the FBI, he's here tonight with us, and he has asked to say a few words, and if it's okay if he says a few words, and then we'll get Lieutenant Mason up here. I called him Sergeant Mason, but he is a lieutenant and has been a lieutenant forever, and my mind is not totally clear right now, but Kevin.
I'll be very brief. Obviously, we're very relieved on the news tonight, and there are many people across the United States to thank, and hopefully they will all be thanked in the proper time as the days go forward. But on behalf of all the agencies that came together to work this case, the FBI, Virginia State Police, U.S. Marshal Service, National Center for Exploited and Missing Children, I personally, on behalf of all these agencies, would love to give a huge thank you to Chief Lavender, the Roanoke County Police Department, for their excellent leadership in this matter. The chief brought together the necessary
Brittany Smith is found alive. You are watching as it happens, the press conference out of Roanoke, Virginia. And let's just go over what you've heard. Seen in a retail store, we've confirmed it's a Safeway. They are recognized by a clerk. The clerk calls the San Francisco police. So much of the investigation had been around the Virginia idea of Kentucky all the way down into Florida. This is in San Francisco, so they call the San Francisco police. 12-year-old Brittany is safe. 32-year-old Easley is in custody. This is kind of, it's an incredible setup for this story because there just weren't a lot of clues coming out in this until tonight. It breaks, and just moments before we go on the air, we'll answer all the questions when we come back.
Brittany and Mr. Easley apparently were in a retail store where they were recognized by someone who had seen the wanted posters or the alerts, something of that sort. They notified the San Francisco police, who responded to the area and located Mr. Easley and arrested him and made sure that Brittany was safe.
I uploaded the full press conference because Nancy Grace on this segment cut it off, and it's a little mini video that is only audio, and I'll put the link to the full presser in part 1, if I remember, of this video.